G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the west side of the map, it is 3DB playing the Chinese, currently ranked rank number 17. His opponent who spawns on the opposite side of the map, it is Zerton. He's going to be playing the Mongols for us today and currently sitting at rank number 30. So let's get into this game. Let's talk about exactly what we've got going on here. First and foremost, it's King of the Hill. You guys will be familiar with King of the Hill. One sacred site in the middle. A lot of resources in the middle as well. Not a lot of wood to start off with. You can see it's just a small wood line that you've got here. About, what do you got, 16 trees. And normally you'd expect a much larger wood line. Normally you'd expect something like this would be a lot more suitable. You know, 71 trees, 81 trees, that sort of thing. But we'll take a look over at what players are doing. So Zerton actually opening up with a scout, then heading into some villages. Got the Khan up towards the north. We'll take a look at 3DB. Going to be going up with his classic double scout opening. And one of the things that we've seen, the more and more that professional scouts becomes quote-unquote the meta, the more that we actually see players. I think this might be a little bit of a mistake here. Yeah, 3DB making a little bit of a mistake here with the Imperial Official. Needing to bring it down over here, but failing to rally it there. But we're starting to see earlier and earlier scouts. So 2 scouts at the moment in the Dark Age is the meta at the moment. So I'm curious to see if that will evolve. I suspect it probably won't go any more than that. It doesn't seem reasonable to be going 3 scouts because the idea behind the second scout for both players is going to be for them to be gaining some form of sheep control. That's essentially it. Then you can obviously leverage that a little bit later in the second age into your professional scouts. Towards the base of Zerton, though, we actually have we've got a barracks. So the barracks, interestingly, doesn't look like it's training a double batch. It only looks like a single batch at the moment. I think this might be a little bit of a mistake from Zerton. Obviously you're playing the Mongols. You want to be making double batches. You don't want to be making single batches. I'm sure he's scratching his head right now. But I mean, maybe he's got a plan to use with his stone. So probably going to be pushing out here. We'll take a look and see. Oh, we've actually just got the scout of 3DB here, so he spots it. Now, we can't 100% confirm that, but, I mean, it's right there. He sees the spear now coming in as well, makes the call out. So he's going to know that there's a little bit of pressure coming in on Age 1. Now, the question is, where is the pressure going to come? The gold mine is the first place, I'm thinking. The second place is probably the lumber. I mean, there's a lot of good spots here. If you're thinking about it from Zerton's perspective, you are aware that China doesn't necessarily need gold in the early game, so probably best to focus down the lumber, especially on this map. Wood is just absolutely terrible to come by. Like, look how far away this is from the town center. There's another little patch back here, but again, it's very far away. If you can isolate this could be a really potentially strong opening. 2 villages going to be coming out as well with this for Zerton. So we'll ride on board with him. We'll see what he gets out to. Double spear coming out. Another set of double spear coming out here. And Scout now going to be spotting out the attack coming through. We've got the outpost coming down and immediately responding with a barracks. 3DB does. I like this. I think this is the appropriate move because he's going to have to pull vills if he wants to bust through this. And it does look like he is doing that. Getting attacked on multiple fronts here by the wolves. Villagers coming in and looking to do a little bit of meleeing. There's only a single spear here. Ideally, there should be 2. He's going to get a couple sneaky picks here up on the sheep. I do apologize. But now going to have... He's actually supervising up the barracks. This is where China can actually be very strong in the early game because they're actually able to get more units out. Obviously, they're going to pay more for them. But, you know, you can see that he just quickly supervised here to get the barracks. Got a couple of units out nice and quickly. 3 spears in here against 2. But take a look at the HP here. So he's going to need to wait. We've got more scouts in here for his opponent. And 3DB looking pretty good at this opening stage of the game. Probably going to be losing. The first scout goes down. He's got the Khan in the backline as well, Zerton, and doing a pretty decent job so far. We've got the 4 villagers here that remain. The main thing is he wants to prevent this from coming up at all. That is the big thing, and he wants to do that by avoiding going in for an outpost himself. He could potentially drop in an outpost himself, but obviously then that's just going to anchor him to that point. Ideally, he just wants to shut this down. We actually see a couple spears making their way around. You see the town center actually getting a shot off there, and it looks like the villager once again falling back here. So 3DB managing to hold. We'll check back in over on Zerton's perspective. We'll see what he's up to. No gold gathered just yet at this stage. He's going quite heavy at this point on just really committing to Age 1. It does have villagers in queue, obviously. We'll check back in with 3DB, though. He's now got a couple of spears out, and I love this from him, the fact that he's got this right next to it. So able to just begin So he's able to supervise the barracks while having the lumber camp next to it. So if he wants to just switch over, he can. But now this villager might be going down here. He's going to be so careful to try and get this one out, but I think it will probably go down 1.125 or 1.12 versus 1.25. Does mean the villager goes down, and that is this aggression put down now, and that is pretty much all the age 1 aggression that we would expect out of Zerton. I suspect he's probably going to be looking into a transition here. We'll take a look. We do have the first villager heading out towards gold. Khan actually going down over on the front here as the spears, the remaining spears, actually looking to get into it. Wolf getting in on the action as well. Always fun when the Wolf gets in on the action, but that's going to mean that this outpost has to get cancelled. So we've got a going to be going down on the gold. Looks like a couple of villagers going to be heading out. A long-distance miner as well. You never want to be doing that, so a little bit of a mistake there from Zerton. But now going to be able to clean up this outpost. I'm curious if he's got any reinforcing villagers coming out. It doesn't look like it. I think he might have just given up on this push at this stage. So Zerton, you know, undoubtedly he is doing well. He has achieved what he wants. But at the same time, I think 3DB is definitely going to be feeling incredibly good about himself. I think this is a really nice victory here in the early game for 3DB and a great hold. And now we actually see him splitting up his spearmen. And I like this play a lot. So on this map, typically you've got a lot of choke points. So you can see right here, here's one choke point. Here's your second choke point. There's more choke points over here. And then, of course, you've got this choke point down towards the south of the base as well. So you can actually see that he's sending out a spearman out, and he's just scouting out his opponent. So a very appropriate thing. Going to be putting down a Barbican as well, going down on his front line. And I think this is the right spot to put it. Obviously, this is where the attack came through previously, but there is always the risk. And now look at this beautiful scouting. He actually spots the villager coming in as well. So it looks like he's going to be going up as quickly as he can. 7 villagers going to be going onto that Barbican. He's got 400 wood in the bank. So if he wants, he can drop down an archery range as soon as he gets up, which is probably going to be the wise choice. Villager going to be coming in and going to be forcing a reaction once again here. And you're going to be asking the question, is this just asking, is he wanting his opponent to overreact? What is the thought behind this? Is he genuinely trying to come in here and prevent this from being gathered? I really think that's the question here. 3D now up to the next age. Going to be supervising his archery range out as well, and you can see it's already sitting on the front line. 5 seconds for each of these bad boys. First archer coming out. This is training at the equivalent of 3 archery ranges right now. So the only player, or the only civ that can out-spam the Mongols in the early game is the Chinese, and they're going to be able to do it quite well. We see the 3 archers on the back line. Villager almost going to be dying. There's so many spears chasing after it. And at this point, I can't help but feel that 3DB is definitely significantly ahead at this point. You can see he's got the archers out now, more than enough to deal with the spears of his enemy. Does cancel the outpost, and Zerton looking like he might be in a bit of a difficult spot. So now the question is the transition period. So one of the great things about China, or not great things, but one of the important things about China is they are a reactive civ. You are waiting to see what your enemy does, and then you are going to be reacting to them. And just right here, we have seen incredible reaction. So we've seen that barracks come down, the archery range come down, and a really nice job with the supervision. So really demonstrating why it's so important to be supervising in the early game like that, in that situation. And now you can see, you know, now he's gone back over to the mill. So such smart placement here with the barracks next to the lumber camp, the archery range next to the mill. Obviously, it's in proximity to where he's attacking as well, but doing a great job there. We'll check back in on Zerton. I'm curious to see what he's going to be up to. So I thought he would be going for some sort of fast castle play, but it doesn't seem like he's doing that at all. Only a single villager on gold, so probably going to be battening down the hatches at this point, and probably going to be fighting it off in age 2. He's got his barracks up and beginning to actually make a couple of pastures here. So this is quite curious. I love the way that the 3D is playing and immediately pushing on the Mongol player as well. Obviously going to be able to come up towards this this northern gold mine here. It's quite far away from the town center, but now this outpost is up. There's no way he's going to be able to get in close or do any potential damage there. We could look for 3D to actually do some sort of ram, but I don't think that's going to be likely. Zerton now going to begin pushing out towards his opponent base. Obviously realizes that there's not a lot his opponent can do, not a lot that he can do at this point in time, but now it looks like 3D may have found an opening at the back of his opponent's base. He's got quite a little formidable force here, and by coming in and standing in on top of the Uvu, this is really smart, because it means that your enemy's not going to be able to get any of that double production out from any subsequent building. So, for example, we could see Zerton potentially go for an archery range here, and obviously he can't do that because his enemy is sitting right on top of the Uvu. So very nice play play there from 3DB. We'll take a look over at 3DB's perspective. We'll see exactly what he is up to, and my lord, look at the resources for 3DB at this point. Definitely thinking about going up to the next stage. At least that's what you'd think about, or that's what you'd think that he would want to be doing. But do keep in mind, his opponent is also beginning to push in. We see those spears coming down, and there is no unit here for 3DB at this point in time. Spears are now going to be burning down this archery range. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see an Imperial official come over, do a little bit of supervision, just get 2 or 3 archers out, and that'd be all you really need. But it actually looks like he might be giving this one up. He needs a couple of villagers over here just to heal this up. The town center should be able to cover it. But he's done a great job of just burning down that Uvu. Probably could have gone after the barracks, but it looks like he's heading more towards this top side, back onto the gold mine, and keeping 5 villagers idle, so doing a decent job there. Khan on the front line as well. Going to be coming out, but that raid bounty going to be going over to Zertan at this point. He's going to be happy with that one. A very nice little victory for him. So, you know, despite not being able to hold his opponent because of the archers, he's still able to utilize his forces that he had here. So, very smart moves from him. Doing a pretty decent job as well. We'll check how close he is to age up. That's an Uvu going down. That is the sound that the Uvu makes is the exact sound that the landmark makes, and I genuinely thought he was already aging up, and I was gonna go crazy. I was like, I can't believe it. You know, the Mongol player, he's managed to do this, and he's still going up. Like, it's incredible. How does he do it? What is that attack speed? Okay, I feel like that attack speed is too fast. 1.88 attack speed? Feels a little bit faster than that. It felt like 1.5 attack speed. That thing was going off. Archer's doing a good job of just idling out as well. So 3D knows that his opponent wants to go up to the castle age, and subsequently it means that he is looking to isolate the gold. He can spot how much is on the gold. So he knows that 100 off is going to be 3,900, so he can deduct from there, and he can say, okay, he's still got 100 gold before he needs to get up, so he can actually just sack these archers just to delay his enemy from getting up, because he's going to be clicking up very, very shortly. You see he's got plenty of villagers on food together on coin, or rather gold. That's my Age of Empires 3 coming in right there. But we'll take a look at the base of Zertan. So he's interestingly got 4 pastures up already at this point. So a significant amount of pastures, a lot of early investment, and that really puts him on the back foot. As the Mongols, you never want to be on the back foot. You always want to be like doing your best to get out on the map. And by putting this down, this is 600 wood. This is basically another town center. I mean, for the Mongols, it's 900 wood, I think, to put down a town center. So, you know, it's 2/3 of the way to a town center. That's the kind of investment that we're talking about here. But it is a gift that keeps on giving throughout the game, the pastures. You know, they're going to continue trickling in those food sources. So, very nice. Zertan going to be pretty close to clicking up himself. We'll take a look now at the base of 3DB. So he's, at this point in time, 1 base, 1 town center, no dynasty for him, just going straight up into the 3rd age. A lot of long-distance mining out here, so this is his best alternative when it comes to the food source. Hasn't gone for professional scouts when he very easily could have. You can see the resources in the bank that he's got right there, but never really had the opening for it. So obviously a little bit low on food. We can take a look at, you know, he's got options out here with regard to his deer here, but yeah, not a huge amount, but now we'll take a look at what he's going to get up to. So no Springalds just coming out just yet. He's going to stick with archers for the moment, so getting a few more archers out. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chokunu come out, but it's normally something that you'd see in the early game or in the late game, not necessarily something you would see in the mid game. So it might be something that we don't actually spot out. Now he's over here on the Uvu as well. The archery range didn't go onto the Uvu, so he hasn't scouted that one out. Now we've got the Step Redoubt going to be coming down here for Zertan as well. So Zertan now looking to get up to the next age. And when it comes to the, you know, the playstyle of these plays, I guess the question is, where to from here? What is their goal from here? So I think for 3D, the first thing is probably going to be Palace Guards together with Astronomical Clock Tower. Springalds, I think that's going to be really important that he gets those out. That's going to be the first thing. We already see those Palace Guards beginning across the map. For his opponent, though, for Zertan, now he hasn't dropped down a stable at this point. So I would expect that he's probably going to be doing Men-at-Arms into Springalds here as well. Now keep in mind, we are yet to receive that anti-Springald patch yet, so I suspect this is all going to change once we actually see you know, the new patch. I'm really looking forward to it, because it means, you know, with less Springalds out on the field, it means that your enemy is probably going to be able to go for a lot more sort of heavy, what am I looking for? Heavy armor compositions. But now forcing a lot of villagers here to idle. 16 villagers, going to be able to kill one as well. He gets close to it, manages to get yammed up 1.29 movement speed. He'll be okay, managing to get away, but doing a great job of idling those. Zertan now hitting the third age. We'll take a look over at his Uvu, what he's got coming out. So we've got double, he's still not producing the double crossbows. He could be producing double crossbows here, and he's not. Zertan's got to wake up. I don't know what he's doing right now. Not playing the best, we'll say that much. 3DB, on the other hand, still doing pretty well over here, over towards the base of his enemy, continuing to sort of do the best he can to isolate this gold mine. There is a second gold mine very close by as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the step redoubt moved in between these two. It actually might be able to fit there perfectly. In fact, it should. You should be able to get one corner there, one corner here. So I hope that we'll see it right there. That'll be perfect. That's the dream step redoubt, isn't it? That is... Come on, do it. Do it. No, not there. Move it up here. Would have been perfect. Anyway, we'll take a look over at what 3D's thinking about dropping. So he's actually going to be going barracks. So that's going to be the second barracks that he drops. Also going to be dropping a monastery as well. So looking to pick up some relics. So we'll take a look at and see what he's got out on the map. He does have a few relics nearby close to him. Men-at-Arms going to be coming out for his opponent. Actually got the +2 upgrade already on these bad boys. So really getting, I think it's called wedge rivets. So already getting wedge rivets, the upgrade. So he is very far ahead when it comes to tech. Very nice for him. We'll take a look back at the base for him. Do we have any of those monks coming out just yet? It doesn't look like it. We've got one that's got about another 5 seconds until it's out. Other than that, I'm curious to see what he will do and what his plan is. Now beginning to get those springalds out towards the enemy's base. And I love the way that he's being so aggressive in this situation here. So he doesn't need to be aggressive, but keep in mind, he's had the tempo advantage for the majority of this game. He's shut down his opponent's early aggression, and now he's got a bit of a difficult spot. Springald going to be coming out, getting some shots in on the opponent's backline. Not going to be able to one-shot here. You can see it does 60 damage, but able to put out a lot of damage. Archers on the backline as well, and he's going to force this back. So once again, a consequence of not having those double-trained crossbows. And now going to be training out, still not training out double-batch crossbows. I'm not sure exactly. Has that Uvu gone down? Or maybe it's because the Uvu's gone down. Maybe that's why. He's moved the Uvu up to the front. That's only just gone up. So he probably could have been able to get it out a little bit earlier. But so I'm not going to say I made a mistake there. Maybe a villager to come out as well and heal this one up. Second spring out going to be coming out here as well. And managing to hold Zertan does. But we'll take a look now towards the north of the map. Is that a boar? Yeah, that's a boar. Yes. I thought it was something else on the minimap. Where are our monks? We should have monks somewhere out here. Monks? No relics actually in here just yet. Where did he rally this out to? I'm curious. I don't think is there any way for me to do a hotkey for that? Villagers look like they're actually going to be coming out. Did I say villagers? Yeah, 4 villagers going to be coming out and looking to heal this up. We got the first Springald coming out for his opponent as well. So we are moving towards this boring Springald meta that is obviously inevitable in these sorts of high-level games. Both players here obviously being within the top 30, so pretty strong. That's where the Monk is. Heading to the middle of the map. Very cheeky, very cheeky. So not going to be going for those relics just yet. Looking to sort of push his advantage. Got to be careful here. Clock Tower Springald manages to heal up. I like this a lot. 3DB's got to be careful though. Enemy army coming in now. And Springald's trading out incredibly well for 3DB. He's feeling very good. Crossbows on the back line. Going to be doing effectively against these villagers. One villager goes down. 3 villagers remain. Sacred sites have now been taken, and beautiful splits coming in here with the Springalds. He does have, I think he's got that upgrade. Yeah, he's got the movement speed upgrade here. It looks like we've got one villager that's still tapping away here, and really, really nice micro there from 3DB. Another Springald on the back line. He's going to be trying his best to get through the harsh armor of that with his crossbows. You can see that they've got an extra 6 damage over the top, but it's just not going to be enough. If that manages to get away on 2 HP, I tell you what, I would have gone crazy as Zertan right there. But 3DB looking pretty strong right now. You can see the score is definitely still in Zertan's favor, but I would say at this point, tempo-wise, we are definitely talking about 3DB and how well he is doing. That is for certain. Does he have his +1s? He doesn't have +1 melee just yet. We'll take a look and see if he's getting that in. He's got double attack though. That is going to be very strong. So no fitted leatherwork at this point. A lot of Springalds out on the front line, continuing to rally them towards the enemy base as well. So he's got a lot of units out. And now this Uvu probably going to be going down here. So not actually able to utilize it at this point. We see the step redoubt. Actually, he's doing a villager pull. At least it looks like a villager pull. This is a lot of villagers coming out right now. 1.2 movement speed here. These are yammed villagers, so they're 1.29, technically able to outrun this. They're coming in. They're looking to make a business right now, but keep in mind they've only got 50 HP. They don't actually have the textile upgrade, which means they are going to get one shot by the Springles. A great, nice split coming in from 3DB, basically playing like StarCraft right now. The Marines are getting split up against the Banelings. Beautiful splits coming out for 3DB. He's going to be able to get plenty of villagers here, and when you get a split like this against your enemies, and look at the enemy fills, now we've got the villagers coming in for 3DB as well. It's a double villager pool right now. Both players doing a double villager pool. 34 villagers coming out for 3DB at this point. I kind of feel like you might have pulled a few too many villagers there, 3DB. I think you just selected all. It was like, I'm just going to select all. We'll do a quick stock take, though. So 54 villagers for 3DB. I don't think... Yeah, we don't have a dynasty out for him at this point. So he's pretty healthy. 54 villagers. We'll check the economy of his enemy. 41 villagers for him. But obviously, he's got the step without. And he also has the M network, which is going to be able to buff that up. So, you know, when it comes to how even these are... I mean, if we take a look at this, 9 villagers on gold. He's also got 9 that are here building it up. So he's sitting on 17 villagers here, which is the equivalent of like a +8 villager count. So, you know, he's definitely not out of the game at this point. 55 for 3DB at this point. And a huge Springled mass now beginning to build up for him at this point. So more Springleds now being rallied out across the map. A lot of villagers currently sitting on gold. But he's going to continue. He's struggling at the moment with food. Is he thinking about Imperial Age? Is that what he's doing? I've got no... Like, when I see this kind of macro where he's still got 22 villagers that are on gold at this point, it really begs the question as to whether he's thinking about Imp. But I suspect probably not. Probably just going to be making units. We see the reinforcements going to be coming in as well. And 3DB got to be careful here as his enemy begins to push in with plenty of men-at-arms. He's looking to try and get the spot. There's 4 Springleds on the back line. We've got more Springleds coming in for 3DB. So many Springleds coming in right now. He's just absolutely doing incredibly well compared to his opponent. He's got so many more Springleds than his opponent. And I think this just might be GG because... Like, realistically, is there anything that Zerton can do in this point? Like, we see Zerton's score, and Zerton's score is inflated incredibly. He is playing the Mongols, so this is bugged at the moment, but you got to think about it from the perspective of 3D. He's got the Sacred Sites. He's got the relics that are coming in. We hear those getting dropped off. That's the second one getting dropped off. So, he's doing very, very well. 9 Springleds. 10th one probably coming in on the way. Still not yet. But, I mean, when we compare it to his opponent, have we got... I'm curious what we've got coming out behind this. Because at the moment, it looks like 3D is just really committing to this. We'll take a look from Zerton's perspective. Zerton now going to be trying to come in here. We see he's going to be on the back line trying to take out the Springleds of his enemy. And he's just GG out. He's just tapped out. I'm suspecting that... I don't think this is a drop. I'm pretty sure he's just GG'd out. He's seen too many Springleds. He knows he can't win the Springled fight, and he's just GG'd out. Well, fellas, if you've enjoyed this game, make sure you leave a like. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And a bit of a weird ending. What the heck?